This video provides a brief introduction to trigonometry. Enjoy. Well, what is trigonometry? Well, trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that studies the relationship involving the lengths and angles in a triangle. And the 6 commonly used trigonometric functions are the sine function, cosine function, the tangent, the cosecant, the secant, and the cotangent. Of these 6, the first 3 are the more commonly used functions. Here we have a right-angled triangle here, and we use this triangle to explain what each of those common trigonometric functions stand for, since we said that trigonometry is the study of the lengths and angles of a triangle. So starting with the sine function, which is what we have here, the angle we are looking at here is this angle here, theta. So sine theta equals opposite, which is this side here, this length here is the opposite the angle. So sine theta equals opposite over opposite, which is here, over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is this side here that faces the right angle. So whenever you have a right angled triangle, as this one here, whichever side that faces the right angle, which is this is the right angle, which is angle 90. Whichever side that's opposite this angle is the hypotenuse. So this is the hypotenuse of this triangle. So whichever angle you use as your reference, if you use this angle as your reference angle that you're dealing with, we call this theta. So sine theta equals opposite, which is this now, over hypotenuse. So sine theta equals opposite divided by hypotenuse. And there we have this, which we call SO. This is just an acronym telling you what sine theta is. So S stands for sine theta, and the O stands for opposite, and the H stands for hypotenuse. So sine theta equals opposite divided by hypotenuse. Now we move on to the next function, the cosine function, which is usually written as cos. So cos theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Now we said that in a right angled triangle, which is a triangle that has a right angle, an angle 90, the hypotenuse is this side here that's opposite the right angle, angle 90. The opposite is the side that's opposite the angle you're looking at, the angle you're walking with. Here we're walking with theta here, which is theta. So theta is the reference angle. So this side is opposite. Now the side which is not opposite and is not the hypotenuse is known as the adjacent side, which is what we have here. So adjacent, ADJ, this side here is the adjacent side. So our cos theta equals adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So cos theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And here we have this acronym CAH, C-A-H. So the CAH is just telling you that C, which represents cos, equals adjacent A over hypotenuse H. Now we'll move on to the tangent function, which is usually represented as tan. So tan theta, using theta, our angle here, tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. This side is opposite and this side is adjacent. So tan theta equals opposite divided by adjacent. And we have an acronym TOA, T-O-A. The T represents tangent, the O represents the opposite, and the A represents the adjacent. So tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So we've made up 3 acronyms, and they're pronounced SOHCAHTOA. So if you have these acronyms in your mind and you keep them in your head, you don't have to memorize what each of these functions stand for. Once you know SOHCAHTOA, you know that S-O-H is telling you that sine whatever angle you're dealing with equals the opposite side of that angle divided by the hypotenuse. The CA tells you that the cosine of any angle is the adjacent side of that triangle divided by the hypotenuse side. And TOA tells you that the tangent of whatever angle you're working with is the opposite of that angle, the side that's opposite the angle, divided by the adjacent side. Again, the acronym is SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. How about the cosecant? The cosecant is just the inverse of the sine function. When we mean inverse, we're just saying that the cosecant theta equals 1 over sine theta. So whenever you find your sine theta, your cosecant theta is just 1 divided by what you have for sine theta. So if your sine theta is 3 over 5, your cosec theta will be equal to 1 divided by 3 over 5, and your cosec theta will be equal to 5 over 3. So your cosec theta is just the inverse of your sine theta. How about sec theta? Sec theta, which is secant theta, is equal to 1 over cos theta. So sec theta is just 1 over cos theta. How about cotangent theta, which is the sixth function? Cotangent theta is just equal to 1 divided by the tan theta. So cotan theta is the reciprocal of tan theta.